74, Compunction, Jackie's POV. I took my seat on the flight, but this time it felt different. There was no excitement, no relief, just an unsettling emptiness. I am going home, yet somehow it feels like I haven't left home behind. The homesickness I felt leaving India was far greater than what I had experienced when leaving California months ago. The moment I landed, I spotted James waiting for me outside, of course, with John, my driver. I hadn't thought about John even once while I was in India, but now, watching him stand beside my luxurious car, a wave of nostalgia hit me. What a carefree life I had here in California. "Hey man, welcome home," James greeted with his usual grin, arms open wide as he stepped forward. "Hey James." I returned the hug casually, nodding at John with a faint smile as he acknowledged me. "You okay?" James asked as he pulled away. I frowned. "Yeah, why?" I motioned for John to take my luggage, which he immediately began loading into the car. "I don't know, man. You seem a little off." We started walking toward the car. "I've been on a flight for the last 16 hours, James. What do you expect? You want me to dance for you?" I rolled my eyes and climbed into the car. James let out a chuckle, sliding in beside me. Now that's my nosy, frustrated boss. I exhaled sharply, shaking my head as John drove us home. James accompanied me inside, and we spent a few minutes discussing sales reports, legal paperwork, and upcoming ad contracts. Finally, he stood up, stretching. "All right, I gotta go. See you at the office tomorrow." I blinked. "Probably." "Okay," he exaggerated in a mock accent, grinning. "Take some rest, man, bye." With a slow nod, he walked out. I looked around my mansion. Every inch of it was luxurious, pristine, perfect. But for the first time, all I saw was emptiness. Every corner of this place taunted me, reminding me just how lonely I truly was. With a heavy sigh, I made my way upstairs. The servants had already placed my luggage in my room. Hoping to shake off my exhaustion, I took a long hot shower and lay down for a nap, willing my restless mind to shut down.
Lavanya's POV. I don't know what's happening to me, Daddy. Believe me, I've been trying so hard to be happy with Virat sir. But every time I'm with him, it feels like I'm carrying a heavy burden. Whenever he tells me he loves me, I have no words to say back. Those words don't bring me peace. They feel like an obligation, something I have to respond to, something I have to make work within a deadline. Am I being selfish, Daddy? Is this normal? I thought maybe with time it would get easier, that eventually I'd learn to be comfortable with him. But no, it's getting harder. And now that Mr. Dawson is gone, it's even worse. His presence was like a shield, a safety wall around me. I felt secure when he was near. And now, every time I hear his name at work, I get this strange feeling, something I can't even put into words. What is this? Why can't I move on? I confessed everything as Daddy listened, his eyes filled with concern. He had asked about Mr. Dawson's sudden absence. But instead, he got an answer about me. Because you love him deeply, sweetheart. And you're refusing to accept it. Daddy's sudden words made me freeze. He sees it too. Look, doll, I know it's hard for you to forget him. But my question is, why are you even trying to forget him when you know how much he loves you? I swallowed hard. How do you know that? He smirked. You mean about Dawson's feelings for you? I nodded. Darling, I'm your father. And the way he stormed in and took you away from the engagement ceremony, it was clear as day. That man is madly in love with you. During the ring ceremony, I kept glancing at him and his face said it all. He wasn't just hurt, he was shattered. And you? You weren't happy either. So I don't understand, Lavanya. Why did you get engaged to Virat? I lowered my gaze. Because I had already given him my word. I couldn't break my promise. And every time I tried to talk to Virat sir about it, things only got more complicated. I sighed heavily before continuing. I didn't want to embarrass you, Mama, or his parents with my own confusion. And it wasn't just that. I really thought about it, Daddy. Mr. Dawson's lifestyle, his wealth, his culture, were so different from him. I couldn't imagine how our families would blend. I knew Mama and our elders would never accept it. Daddy exhaled, shaking his head. Lavanya, if you love him, those things shouldn't matter. And you can't make everyone happy at the same time, beta. He placed a gentle hand on mine. Virat loves you. Yes, he asked you to marry him and you agreed. Not because you loved him, but because, at the time, you didn't even consider that you could love someone else. You were new to love, sweetheart, and by the time you realized your feelings for Dawson, you had already committed to Virat. That's not your fault. It was an innocent mistake. But now, you know the truth. You know Dawson loves you. And more importantly, you know you don't love Virat. So tell me, Lavanya, is it right to marry someone you don't love? His words cut deep. Making a mistake isn't a sin, sweetheart, but repeating that mistake is. Right now, you're not just making your own life difficult. You're about to ruin Virat's life. And Dawson's too. Do you think that's fair to either of them? I couldn't answer. By loving one and marrying another, you're breaking both their hearts. Don't let them regret loving you, doll. Be the real Lavanya, the one they love unconditionally. Choose truth, choose honesty. It might hurt some people for now, but that pain won't last forever. One day they'll thank you for being honest with them. Believe me.
Author's POV. Why are you putting such ideas into her mind, Lalit? Sudha asked, frowning after he told her about his conversation with Lavanya. Lalit exhaled sharply. Sudha, what do you want? Your daughter's happiness or her tears? I want her to live a safe, secure, stable life with a good family, she answered firmly. I know, but Sudha, don't judge a book by its cover. Cover? She scoffed. Everyone knows who Jackie Dawson is. A rich, spoiled bachelor. He lives alone, no family. The magazines and newspapers don't make things up out of nowhere. There's no smoke without fire, Lalit. Lalit met her gaze calmly. Not everything in the media is true, Sudha. Whatever it is, I can't take a risk with my daughter's future, Sudha said firmly. No, you just can't see your daughter's happiness, Lalit countered, his voice laced with frustration. Stop this argument, Lalit. You can't win with such emotional tricks, she shot back. We are her parents, Sudha. Our job is to support her, support the happiness she is seeking. Don't lecture me, Lalit. I am not a stranger, I am her mother. She is my only daughter. I carried her for 9 months, went through unbearable pain to bring her into this world. Do you think I would ever want her to be unhappy? Her voice trembled as she pointed her index finger to nothing in particular. This happiness you're talking about, it's temporary. What happens when it's gone? What will you do then? Lalit sighed, exasperated. It's a waste of time trying to explain this to you, Sudha. You're being too stubborn. Instead of clinging to your own fears, try looking at your daughter's face, her eyes. Read her, Sudha. If you do, you'll understand her better than any newspaper gossip. I do know my daughter, Sudha snapped, but before she could continue, Mama, Daddy. Lavanya's voice cut through the tension, silencing both of them. The room fell into an uneasy stillness. Lavanya? Lalit stepped forward, his eyes searching her face. Sudha's expression softened slightly. Yes, Beta? Lavanya took a deep breath. I've made a decision. Lalit's eyes held encouragement. And that is... I've decided not to marry Virat sir. What? Both Sudha and Lalit spoke at once, but their reactions were starkly different. Lalit was surprised. Sudha was shocked. Lavanya nodded, standing her ground. Yes, Mama. Yes, Daddy. You heard me right. I'm not going to marry Virat, sir. Sudha's voice sharpened. But you're already engaged to him, Lavanya. I know, Mama. And I admit, it was my mistake. I never should have said yes to him. Not when I was already in... She faltered for a moment. In love with someone else. A heavy silence fell over the room. Lavanya took a deep breath. It was my own foolishness, but now... Now what? Sudha interrupted, eyes blazing. Don't tell me you're planning to marry that playboy from America instead of Virat. Lavanya lowered her gaze. Honestly, Mama, I wish I could. But it's too late. And because of my stupidity, I lost him. So you don't have to worry about that. He's gone. And any expectations I had are gone too. Sudha stared at her, still unable to grasp her daughter's reasoning. I don't understand. You won't marry Virat. You can't marry Dawson. Then what's the point of being single? What's the purpose of breaking off this engagement? Lalit stepped in before Lavanya could answer. Sudha, she's struggling to think clearly while she's bound to this engagement. Let her be free. Give her time to figure out what she truly wants. Sudha scoffed in disbelief. Are we playing some kind of board game here, Lalit? This is our daughter's life. Don't play with it. She threw up her hands. And what do you even mean? Let's free her from the engagement and give her time. If we break this commitment with the Oberoi family, it will damage our relationship with them forever. We won't be able to fix it later, no matter how much we regret it. There is no going back from here, so don't play with her future. Lalit held her gaze firmly. Exactly. Let's not play with her life. Let her make her own decisions. She's not a child anymore. His eyes softened as he turned to Lavanya. He smiled. I'm proud of you, Beta. Sudha pressed her hands together and closed her eyes tightly. Hey, Bhagwan, give them some wisdom. She prayed, her voice shaking with emotion. Lavanya walked over to her mother and sat beside her. Mama? Sudha turned her head but remained silent. Lavanya took a deep breath. I know you care for me, Mama. You love me deeply, and I love you and Daddy too. But these past few months, someone else found a place in my heart without me even realizing it. I used to think love was just about accepting the person who loves you and wants to be with you. But then, he came along, and everything changed. I couldn't think of anyone else. I couldn't feel for anyone else. Mama, I know I can't be with him. That's why I got engaged to Virat, sir. But no matter how hard I tried, my heart never truly accepted it. My conscience kept rejecting it. If I marry someone I don't love and spend my life lying to him about my feelings, won't that be a life built on dishonesty? Won't that be wrong? She met her mother's gaze, her voice soft but firm. You tell me, Mama. Will I be doing justice to Virat? To his family? To myself? She placed a hand over her heart, waiting for her mother's response. But Sudha looked away, lowering her gaze in silence. Lalit, watching closely, spoke up. Sudha, give our daughter the chance to make her own decision. You know how obedient she has always been. Can't you trust her to choose the life she wants? Can't you let her? Sudha hesitated. Slowly, she nodded. Then, turning to Lavanya, she spoke. If this is what you truly want, then okay. Lalit exhaled in relief, smiling at his wife. Lavanya's eyes softened. Thank you for understanding me, Mama. She leaned forward and embraced her mother. Sudha sighed, wrapping her arms around her daughter. May God bless you, Beta. I just hope you won't regret this later. She gently stroked Lavanya's head. Later, at the Oberoi residence, Lalit cleared his throat after settling into his seat at Virat's house. Virat's mother placed a glass of water in front of him. Mrs. Verma and Lavanya didn't come? She asked curiously. No, they were, Lalit hesitated, struggling to find the right words. The entire Oberoi family watched him, waiting for him to continue. Mr. Verma, is everything all right? Is she okay? Mrs. Oberoi asked, sensing his unease. Oh, yes, she's perfectly fine. Lavanya, too. Lalit nodded quickly. It's just that... Virat's parents exchanged puzzled glances. Mr. Oberoi leaned forward slightly. Mr. Verma, you came here to say something, didn't you? We are family now. You can speak freely. Lalit sighed, nodding. Yes, of course. I know what I'm about to say isn't easy to hear, but as Lavanya's father, it's my responsibility to be honest with you. He cleared his throat again, his hesitation evident. My daughter, Lavanya, she... The Oberoi listened intently, waiting for him to finish. She's having second thoughts about this marriage. The moment the words left his mouth, the entire room fell into complete silence. Virat's parents stared at him in shock. Lalit forced himself to continue. I thought long and hard about this, and I believe it's best to call off the engagement. If my daughter is unsure, if she isn't happy, how can she truly make this family happy? He exhaled deeply. I know this isn't the news you expected, and I know it isn't fair to you. But as parents, you understand, don't you? You have a daughter too. Would you want her to enter a marriage she isn't sure about? His voice softened. I'm deeply sorry. He joined his hands together in a gesture of apology and slowly stood up. Virat's parents stood up as well, their faces tense. This is unacceptable, Mr. Verma. What are we supposed to tell our son? What reason do we even give him for this? Virat's mother demanded, her voice laced with frustration. Calm down. It's okay. Mr. Oberoi gently placed his hands on her shoulders, trying to ease her distress. She turned to him, her expression filled with sorrow. Lalit bowed his head slightly in humility. I am truly sorry, Mrs. Oberoi. Letting go of a son-in-law like Virat, and a family as wonderful as yours, is incredibly difficult. If possible, please find it in your hearts to forgive me. Without another word, he turned and quietly left. Calm down. It's okay. Mr. Oberoi gently placed his hands on her shoulders, trying to ease her distress. She turned to him, her expression filled with sorrow. Lalit bowed his head slightly in humility. I am truly sorry, Mrs. Oberoi. Letting go of a son-in-law like Virat, and a family as wonderful as yours, is incredibly difficult. If possible, please find it in your hearts to forgive me. Without another word, he turned and quietly left.
Lavanya's POV. I sat idly in my room, staring at nothing in particular when Mama walked in. You didn't go to the office today? She asked. I shook my head slowly without looking at her. She sighed and sat beside me. You know, I was so happy to see you get engaged that day. I never imagined things would turn out like this. Her voice softened as she reminisced. When I married your father, it was an arranged marriage. I had only met him twice before the wedding, always in the presence of family. But after we got married, we embarked on a journey of knowing, of understanding, of growing together. It was a beautiful experience. I thought you would find the same joy with Virat. But I forgot that times are changing. People fall in love before marriage now. Some love stories succeed and some don't. In my effort to protect you, to ensure everything in your life was perfect, I was holding on too tightly, like trying to grasp dry sand. The harder you grip it, the faster it slips away. She paused, then cupped my face with both hands, her eyes glistening. Lavanya, beta, I never want to see tears in your eyes. It would break my heart. All I've ever wanted is for you to have a happy, secure, and fulfilling life with your future family. That's been my only wish. When I pushed you to stay in this engagement, it wasn't just for you. It was for me. It was my selfish desire as a mother, because I thought Virat's family would cherish you, pamper you, love you the way we do. But if you're not happy, Then I was wrong. I'm just scared for your future. She finally let out a sob. I immediately wrapped my arms around her. Shh, Mama, please don't say that. You don't have to explain yourself. I know how much you love me. You don't need to prove it. You are the best mother I could ever ask for. I'm the luckiest daughter to have you and Daddy. So please don't worry. I'm happy with my decision. At least now, I can think freely about my future. Without pressure, without burden. She exhaled shakily, nodding. She stroked my cheek one last time before standing up and quietly leaving the room. An hour later, my phone buzzed. Oh, I picked it up and saw the name flashing on the screen. Virat sir. My chest tightened. I hesitated, then answered. Hello? His voice was loud and sharp. What the hell is going on, Lavanya? I stayed silent. You broke off the engagement? You ended things with me? His voice rose with disbelief. Sir, Shut up. Just shut up. How could you do this to me? To my family? We were so happy, and you sent your father to break the news? I closed my eyes. I'm sorry, but I just don't feel the same way about you as you do about me. His voice turned cold. Are you mocking my feelings? No, sir, it's nothing like that. Then what is it? He paused. Then his tone changed. Suspicious now. Is it because of him? I froze. That American boss of yours? My boss? He's your boss too. I corrected him. Oh, shut up. I need to talk to your parents. Before I could say another word, he hung up. Panic surged through me. I rushed to the living room where my parents were sitting on the couch, deep in thought. Daddy, Mama? I called out. They both turned to look at me. I think Virat sir is going to call you. He's quite angry. Auntie must have told him about your visit. Daddy blinked, taking in my words. Mama shook her head, anxiety creeping into her voice. This is exactly what I was afraid of. What are we even going to say to him? We'll humbly apologize. That's all we can do, Daddy replied calmly. We waited for almost half an hour, but Virat sir never called. Instead, the doorbell rang. The unexpected sound made all three of us flinch, shattering the heavy silence that had settled in the room. Mama stood up and went to open the door. The moment she did, she let out a small gasp. Virat sir stood outside, his face dark with frustration. Daddy and I exchanged a tense glance. Virat, we thought? Mama fumbled. Namaste, Auntie. His voice was stiff as he gave her a curt nod. Mama hesitated before pressing her palms together. Namaste, beta. She stepped aside. Please come in. He entered and Daddy and I hurriedly stood up. He wasted no time. What is this all about, Lavanya? His voice was sharp as he shook his head in disbelief, then turned to Daddy. Uncle, will you please explain? This sudden change in your decision, it's bothering me a lot. This is an embarrassing situation for me and my family. He exhaled sharply, shaking his head again. Last week, we got engaged. And now, just like that, she decides to break it off? He pointed a firm hand in my direction. Without even talking to me first, without a single discussion. His glare burned into me. I instantly lowered my head, unable to hold his gaze. Daddy sighed. Look, beta, I know you're hurt. I know you love her. You wanted to marry her. You were happy with this engagement. But can you honestly say the same about her? Virat's expression tightened. Can you? Daddy repeated, his voice calm but firm. I've been watching her closely since that day, searching for happiness on her face, but I haven't seen it. Did you? Virat clenched his jaw. She's my fiancée, and it was her decision to get engaged to me too, uncle. I agree. She made that choice, but she was confused when she did. Virat's frustration deepened. Uncle, how can you support her in this stupidity? His eyes flicked to Mama. Auntie, why don't you make her understand? Mama looked at him with sympathy, but her voice was steady. Beta, we are sorry, but she is not happy. Virat let out a short, bitter laugh. Not happy? What does that even mean? His voice rose with emotion. Have I ever hit her? Shouted at her? Insulted her? Have I ever mistreated her in any way? His breathing was heavy as he continued. Have I ever made unreasonable demands? Have I ever hurt her? I love her. I try my best to make her smile every single day. Isn't that enough? He spread his arms in frustration. What more should I do? I swallowed the lump in my throat. Then finally I spoke. You're too perfect for me, sir. His eyes narrowed. What? I forced myself to continue, my voice trembling. You've always been more than I deserve. A true gentleman. You've given me your time, your energy, your attention. You have done everything right. But the question is, can I give the same to you? His expression hardened. Do I deserve all this from you? My voice cracked. Do I love you? Tears welled in my eyes. I've asked myself these questions every single day. And do you know the only answer I keep getting? I took a shaky breath. No. The silence between us was deafening. I can't play with your feelings forever. I can't act forever. I can't keep lying to the one person who has been nothing but honest and loyal to me. I tried, Virat sir. I really tried. But I failed. And I can't gamble with our future. Just hoping that one day I might magically start feeling something I don't. I can't spend the next 50 years lying to your face. I can't be that kind of person. I won't. I took a deep, shuddering breath and met his eyes. You deserve better than that. This is all because of that Dawson guy, isn't it? He brainwashed you, didn't he? Virat demanded, his brows furrowed. No, beta. He's gone. This is Lavanya's decision and hers alone. Daddy clarified firmly. A heavy silence filled the room. Then Virat spoke again, his voice softer, almost pleading. Please, Lavanya, change your mind. What's the point of breaking off this engagement if you don't love someone else? At least I love you. My family loves you. Your family too wants us to be together. You even told me once that you liked me. Then, why? I took a deep breath, gathering the courage to finally say it. I'm not marrying you, Virat sir. That doesn't mean I don't love someone else. The room fell into complete silence. Virat's face turned pale. What? What do you mean? I hesitated before answering. Yes, I love someone. And it's not you, Virat sir. It wouldn't be fair to marry you when my heart belongs to someone else. His expression hardened. And who is that? I shook my head. I can't tell you. Virat let out a bitter laugh. It's him, isn't it? Of course it's him, that American womanizer. Are you out of your mind? He clenched his fists. How can you choose him over me? He's not a good guy, Lavanya. He's a playboy. He'll ruin your life. I felt my own anger rising. I lifted my head and met his furious gaze. That's none of your business, sir. Virat's jaw tightened. Lavanya, Mama snapped, her wide eyes warning me. I instantly lowered my gaze, feeling ashamed. Sorry, Mama. And sorry, Virat, sir. I took a shaky breath. I'm sorry, sir. He didn't say a word. He just stood there frozen, as if he was still trying to process everything. Daddy broke the silence, his voice calm yet firm. Virat beta, I understand how you must be feeling right now. But sometimes, fate brings people together only to lead them apart again. Maybe Lavanya was never truly yours, and you were never hers. One day, you'll both find the right person, the one you're meant to be with. Just trust in God's plan. Virat stared at him, his eyes filled with emotions I couldn't even begin to understand. Go home, beta. Your family must be worried about you. Take care of yourself and them. He swallowed hard and gave a small nod. Then slowly, he bent down to touch my parents' feet, seeking their blessings. Finally, he turned toward the door. Just before stepping out, he glanced at me one last time. Then, without another word, he walked away. I rushed to the balcony, watching as he reached his car. He paused. I saw him wipe his tears before turning around, his eyes lifting toward me. Our gazes met. It was the last time I saw Virat sir looking at me with such intensity. Beyond the tears in his eyes, I saw pain, betrayal, and silent accusations. I know, I'm to blame. I did this to him. And that was the last time I ever saw him. From that moment on, my life changed completely. It wasn't a good memory, but since he was a kind man, I would always feel guilty for dragging him into the mess of my confusion. I can only wish him the best for his future. That night, my family and I sat in silence. None of us spoke a single word over dinner. The atmosphere was heavy, the air thick with unspoken emotions. After eating, I quietly retreated to my room, longing for sleep to take me away from the weight of the day. But no matter how hard I tried, sleep wouldn't come. I tossed and turned, shifting positions repeatedly, trying to find some comfort, some relief, but it was useless. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Virat sir's tear-streaked face or Mr. Dawson's wounded expression. The weight of my choices pressed down on me like a heavy burden. I have shattered the peace of both men. It was a restless, tormenting night. I can't even make a single man happy in my life. Shame on me.